yours. We'll start with the opening statement from Coach, and then we'll take questions.
Well, you got to experience. I experienced it from a firsthand conference play, basketball. Two good teams, a well-coached New Mexico State team that we had beaten at third place, but we shot extremely well. We shot 50, 60%, and it was a high-scoring game, a team that took Middle Tennessee, who's currently number one, in the conference to overtime, and actually had the upper hand and just lost it in overtime. So it was a typical tough, hard-fought conference game, and one of the better players in the conference, if not maybe the conference player of the year, with Molly Kaiser. She's an awesome player, and we had to make some big plays at the end to pull it out.
Questions for Coach?
Yeah, Avery with Liberty Champion. New Mexico State stayed with you guys all night long. It seemed like every time y'all got out of basket, they got the shot up and just was neck and neck with you guys all night long. Especially, man, as you mentioned, Kaiser, she was bringing the heat all night long. What did it take to kind of break through their grasp and pull away with the win?
Well, I think in the third quarter, we made a push when they missed shots, and that's where we got it up to like a nine-point lead, and up to, I think, a 10-point lead with about 1 minute, 23 seconds in the third quarter. We just didn't close out very well in the fourth quarter. We've got to contest, and then I'm not sure, I can't remember, but when they're down, they usually go to Molly. So you're down 9 or 10, and I think she got to the foul line, which she's deadly on the foul line. I think she was 9 for 10 on the foul line. She attacks. She's very athletic, so they're going to go to her. And then right at the end, when we got that 7-point lead right there, I feel looked good, and then we back off of one of their best shooters on the other side. So I want to credit our team with executing when they needed to, getting rebounds when they needed to, and when you look at number of baskets made, threes, we made one more basket from the three-point line. They made one more from the foul line, so the difference came down to some excellent free throw shooting at the end. We were 19 of 22, and Asia Boone hitting six for 6, and Elizabeth was 4 for 4, and some good free throw shooting at the end of the game.
Speaking of free throw or shooting in general, Amy had a really solid game actually. She 5 for 6 in the second half, if I remember right. But you hear a comment about like her performance tonight, especially since she's a freshman, just fresh into the world of college basketball.
Yeah, every player brings their own personal game, and tonight was one when they switched. She was just more aggressive in her post up, and also I'm going to have to look at the details of the game. Who did they have in when Amy was in, and who was in when Bella was in? But the one factor was Amy played well, shot the ball well, and she was strong around the basket and got an offensive board, put back. I would say if every player contributes, but if she didn't have a great game, good game, we might have been in trouble. We might have had to look somewhere else, but she certainly was a deciding factor in the game. And I don't know if you know this, because it's a detail that I didn't even look at. Our bench is pretty good, and she's part of that bench. And Avery Mills and Brooke Moore, that bench is scoring. They are 13th in the nation in scoring points, just from the bench. And out of 357 schools, we're number 13 from bench scoring points. And tonight, they got 22 points. 22 points out of our 63. So easily a third of our points came from Emmy Stout, Avery Mills, the bench. So the future is now with them adding what they can. But when we lose some kids to graduation, this group should have some confidence that they have their opportunities in the future. So I'm excited with the Emmy and Avery Mills, and we've got a few others that are redshirting. Man, we got a red shirt, and I won't talk much about her, but she's going to be a very, very awesome player. And then you have Ping, who really played very well. I think she had 15 points the game before. I don't think she even took a shot tonight. No, she did. And she helped us. So that bench is critical, and they helped us win the game tonight. You win by 5, and our bench outscored them by 4. Okay.
Coach Molly had a huge first half, and then second half, especially that third quarter that you referenced, you really kind of took them out of their rhythm. They only went 2 for 12 in that third. What was kind of the halftime message or the adjustment that you needed to make in order to have your players come out with that strong defensive effort in the third?
You know, I'd like to say we did something from a tactical, double teaming or hedging on a screen or whatever. We're down 1 on our own court, and just sort of challenge them that we're going to have to play harder. And I didn't think the game was managed, and I'm guilty. I don't think the game was managed very good in the first 2 quarters. I didn't think I did. I was trying to, and I didn't want to use a timeout to do this, but the starters went about 8 to 9 minutes before I could get the bench in. Now, I got Emmy in early to rest Bell, and we got a point guard in, but Elizabeth and our 4, Elizabeth, I didn't get Ping in until at the end there. And I think there was 2 minutes, around 2 minutes. So they were rested and hungry and down 1 point, the starters were. So they came out. Defense was pretty good. They missed shots. We stretched it out there. I think maybe scored 6 straight points or something. They have to call a timeout, and we inch it on up. Sometimes, you just do the best you can, but I got players sitting at the table ready to go in with 4 minutes, and there's not a dead ball that goes on. So that is who we are. Our identity is a team of 10 to 11 ball players. And when I say 11, you have Claudia, point guard, that came in and only played 1 quarter, and what you get, 7 minutes maybe in that quarter. Claudia came in off the bench, and she got an offensive rebound, kicked it out to, I think, Avery Mills, and bang, there's the 3. That's what I'm talking about, our strength and team play.
Maybe one final question for Coach.
Looking ahead to the next game against UTEP on Saturday, what's going to be the key focus to secure to win that game like you did tonight?
Okay, that's a great question. Key focus is let this one go, because this other team is totally different. Athletic, just like this team, but they're going to zone trap, they're going to run zones. We looked at man-to-man the entire night. It's going to be totally 2 different teams. So I got a 24-hour rule. We're going to be happy. We're going to enjoy. We're going to look at video, and then we got to get right back to the grind. So think different. I'll throw a few things at you real quick. Romans 12:2 says, don't conform to this world, but to renew your mind daily. Well, guess what? We're going to celebrate this one, but we're going to start thinking different. By 5 o'clock tomorrow, or 2 o'clock tomorrow when we start practicing. We're going to enjoy it. Also, along with not biblical, but it is biblical, that same principle, George Bernard Shaw said progress is impossible without change. And if you can't change your mind, you can't change anything. So we've got to change it in our head so we know we're playing a different team. We can't pat ourselves on the back too long. We need to just know we got a different opponent and recognize that. And I think we do. We'll do that. Respect our next opponent coming in.